Hello everyone and welcome back to my top 10. Well, welcome back to the channel. And welcome to my top 10 movies of 2023. I've been trying to get this worked on for many weeks, and I've just been trying to figure everything out and such like that, and just, been busy. There's been a lot of new movies, such like that. So I finally have got this top 10 together. I'm just kind of relaxing here, No, this is extremely comfortable. I'm not going to do that. But anyways, guys, yeah, this is my top 10 of 2023. Keep in mind, I haven't seen all the movies that came out this year. I still really want to see Maestro. I haven't seen anything on Netflix. Put it that way. I don't like streaming services, so I don't watch streaming services as much as possible. And I just think Netflix is like the worst one. There's nothing on there, in my opinion. And, with the award movies, I want to see them in the theater. So I will eventually probably see Maestro. I'm sure it's going to, nominations come out tomorrow. Well, I'm filming this on a Monday. You're probably going to see this on Tuesday. So, they come out today, and I'll probably have a reaction to this maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know when you're seeing this. The point is, the nominations come out. I'm sure Maestro is going to be part of it. I'm sure I'll get a chance to see it in theaters. If not, I probably will pick up a subscription for Netflix for a month. So yeah, these are not all the movies that came out this year. I saw about, what did I see, 108, 110 or something like that. I think my letterbox told me, which I do not technically have a letterbox. It's for myself only, because people are just ridiculous on the internet. So yeah, guys, let's get to it. Let's talk about movies from 2023. I'm just going on and on and on. By the way, Chester's chewing on a toy. So if you hear, that's Chester chewing on his toys. So yeah, guys, first, we're going to start with honorable mentions. This is not my number 10 of the year. This is a movie, though, that everyone should see. It's such a great movie. I didn't think I was going to like this movie. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Surprisingly, really heartfelt. Well, not surprisingly, but surprisingly very relatable. Considering this is about a teenage girl, and a lot of the movie centers on her getting her period, I did not think I was going to relate to this movie. I absolutely enjoyed this movie. It had a lot of heart. It was quite beautiful. Rachel McAdams was Oscar-worthy in this movie. And she's not being talked about, and I think that's really sad. So, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Absolute honorable mention. I'm kind of sad it didn't get my top 10, honestly. Next up, Infinity Pool. This is a really crazy, messed up movie that came out almost a year ago now. This is from Brandon Cronenberg. I was not expecting this movie to get as weird as it got. It constantly had me on my toes. I had no clue what was going on. I was not guessing anything that was happening in this movie. Maya Goth in this movie is absolutely incredible. Skarsgård is absolutely great. Just such an insane story. If you haven't seen this movie and you can handle messed up movies that are really weird, for the love of God, check this movie out. It is so weird, but it is so good, and it's such a unique horror. It's not even really a horror movie. I would say it's more of a thriller, but it's messed up. And if you haven't seen this movie, check this one out. Another one that I'm really sad that just did not get in my top 10. Next up, Saw 10, Saw X. I absolutely love this movie. I could not believe how much I love this movie. This is my absolute favorite movie of the entire franchise. I think it just made John Kramer such a unique, awesome character. Even though he is a terrible human being, he's a serial killer. You rooted for the serial killer, and he was so awesome. And this is a movie I thought for sure was going to get in my top 10. There was just some movies that came out that I'll talk about later that I was not expecting to get in my top 10 and just did. So yeah, I really thought this one was going to be in my top 10, but it's not. I'm really sad it's not in my top 10 because it was so good, and it's not just gore porn this time around. It has a really great story, and I absolutely loved this movie. It's so good. I'm so excited for Saw 11. I think Saw 11 comes out this year, they're talking about. I think Tobin Bell's coming back as John Kramer. I'm so excited for that. So Saw 10, definitely a huge honorable mention. Joyride. This was probably my favorite comedy of the year. No Strings Attached was definitely up there. Joyride was absolutely great too. This was like Bridesmaids, but women, the girls are my age, and I had a blast. It was also, some representation in this movie that I liked. They're all, Chinese. I think all of them in the movie are Chinese. I can't remember, but I just remember laughing my ass off in this movie. in a theater full of people my age and older people. And I love that. I love an experience in the theater where everyone's laughing. I think that's the greatest. Like, when people are like, I don't need to go to the theater anymore, go to the theater and see a comedy. Tell me that you do not need to go to the theater to see a movie. You need to go to the theater and experience a comedy in the theater, because it's just one of the greatest things ever. Everyone's just laughing. Everyone's happy. No one's thinking about terrible things when you're watching a movie like this in the theater. This was just such a great comedy. And again, the last one that I really wish could have gotten on here, and it just didn't. And last but not least, in my honorable mentions, David Holmes, The Boy Who Lived. It just came out a couple months ago. This was a documentary that I was not expecting. I had no clue it was coming out till like a month beforehand. I knew of the accident that happened to David Holmes. I knew nothing about him, though. I just remember back in 2011, or 2010, 2011, somewhere in there, there was a news report that the stunt double for Daniel Radcliffe had been injured and paralyzed, I think. That's all I really remember. And what a story this is. What an inspiration this man is. Next time you're having a bad day, watch this. Watch this documentary, and you're immediately just going to feel better. Everything's going to be better, because life is precious and beautiful, and this movie was just... I was not expecting to be as emotional as I was with this movie. I love Daniel Radcliffe. I've always liked Daniel Radcliffe. He's such an interesting human being. He seems very, very honest, and just very humble. He could very much be a turd, and he doesn't seem like he is. He feels very grateful for where he's at in his life. Everything that he does is just so interesting, and so I love that he was such a huge part of this documentary, that he's an executive producer of it. I just think this was such an interesting story to tell, and I'm so glad it was told, and I just loved it so much. I don't know what else to really say about this one. It is so beautiful, and it is just one of those movies that the next time I'm having a bad day, I'm going to watch this movie, and I'm going to tell myself to shut the f up. So yeah, this is such a great movie. So let's move on to the top 10 list now, shall we? Now that we've gotten through my honorable mentions. Starting with Barbie. You can't really see the poster. I don't care. Well, I do care. I wish you could see the poster, but, you know, it's the poster of Barbie riding her pink car with Ryan Gosling behind her, Ken. Anyways, I was not expecting to like this movie at all. I was not expecting to... I was not excited about this movie at all. I like the cast, but I did not think I was going to be seeing this movie 4 times in theaters. That's right, guys. I saw this movie 4 times in theaters. This movie and Oppenheimer, which you will see on this list later, they're both tied for the amount of times I saw these movies in theaters. I saw Barbie 4 times. I saw Oppenheimer 4 times in theaters. This movie just blew me away. The last time I saw it, too, was in September or October when it was on IMAX. This movie just surprised the hell out of me. And the first time I saw it, I was like, yeah, it's good. I don't love it. And then I saw it again, and I was like, okay, I liked it a little bit more. Saw it again, liked it a little bit more. Saw it again, liked it even more. This movie has a lot going on. I will say that. This movie is messy at times. It does feel like Noah Baumbach, Greta Gerwig wrote 2 different movies, just threw them together. I still have my issues with this movie, but it is also really funny. I love so many of the jokes. I had a grandma that we called Crazy Grandma, and we called her Crazy Grandma behind her back and to her face. So the joke of, we're sorry we called you Crazy Barbie behind your back and to your face, it just resonated with me. I absolutely love that. The journey that Barbie goes on, the journey that Ken goes on is great. I'm just Ken. I really want it to win the Oscars. If it doesn't get nominated on Tuesday, whenever you're watching this, whenever it was, I don't know. What the point is, if it doesn't get nominated, I'm going to be so sad, because it is probably my favorite song of last year. I love I'm Just Ken. I really do. And I am Knuff. You are Knuff. Everyone is Knuff. I love Barbie so much. I still haven't watched this with commentary. I didn't get to buy it on Black Friday. It wasn't on sale. I have to buy everything on sale now. I still need to go to Best Buy and see like what movies are going really cheap now, and see if I can get a copy of this, because I don't own it yet and I want to. It's such a great movie. It's so funny, has a lot of heart, great soundtrack. I mean, it's such a good movie. And Greta Gerwig directed the hell out of this movie. She absolutely better get nominated for Best Director. So yeah, Barbie is my number 10. Did not think in a million years I'd be saying that, but here I am saying it. Next up is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This was like my number one anticipated movie of last year, and I was slightly disappointed by it. This movie was my absolute number one of 2018. I saw this movie, the first one, 13 times in theaters. I only saw this one twice. I really liked the movie. I picked it up on Black Friday. I don't hate this movie by any means, but it just was slightly disappointing to me. I found the soundtrack to be awful compared to the first. I think it was a little overstuffed. There was a lot going on. I don't like that it was like a part one, honestly. I don't like how they ended it. But I am excited for, what is the next one? Across the Spider-Verse? Beyond the Spider-Verse, that's what it's called. I am excited for another one. This one left me a little flat, I guess is the word. I was also really disappointed that the original group was not in this one more. They literally cameo at the end, and that's about it. So that means they're probably going to be in the next one big time. But I just wanted more of them. I wanted Nicolas Cage again. And I don't know, I was just disappointed. It's still a really great movie. It's my number 9 of the year. Just slightly disappointed by this one. I wanted it to be more, I guess. So yeah, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Not a perfect movie, but it's still a really good movie. That's my number 9. Number 8, You Hurt My Feelings. This is a movie I don't think anybody really saw. Nobody's talking about this movie. It came out, I want to say, in March? It came out earlier in the year. And it is a very simple story. Julia Louis-Dreyfus plays a writer, and she overhears her husband talking to his friend about how he doesn't like her new book, even though he said that he did like the book. And it's just a movie about the thing that we lie about to people to, protect them, make them feel better, to not hurt their feelings. And then it's also a movie about how we as people act like children when we do find out someone hurt our feelings. And it's just a movie that really resonated with me. I absolutely love this movie. There's a lot of really great humor. There's a particular scene involving a robbery that just had me rolling. I think it might have been the hardest I've laughed this year. Just because helicopter parents, that's all I can say. I just thought the characters in this were so great. And it was such a simple story. It's not big. It's not over the top. It wasn't a $100 billion movie. It was a very simple movie and just very real movie. And I absolutely love that. So that is why it is my number 8. Number 8. Such a good movie. Number 7, Air. I love Ben Affleck. I absolutely love The Town. I really like Argo. I still have yet to watch Live by Night. I own it. I just haven't watched it yet. But he's such a great director. He's such a great actor too. And what a cast in this movie. I mean, Viola Davis, Jason Bateman, Matt Damon, what's his name? Chris Tucker? Is that right? I think it's Chris Tucker. I can't remember. Anyways, a movie again, I was like, what? When Ben Affleck was jumping on to direct it. A movie about wanting to make Michael Jordan the brand of a shoe. That just doesn't seem that fascinating, and it was great. It had some great humor in it. It's based on a true story, and I know a lot of people didn't like what they did with Michael Jordan in this movie. I absolutely love it. I think it was perfect. You don't need to draw attention to him. It's not about him per se. It's more about the shoe, and how much effort was put into getting this shoe to be a thing. So yeah, I absolutely love this movie. I love the acting in this movie. This is a movie that is not getting any awards talk at all, and it absolutely should. Just because it came out in April does not mean it should not be getting any talk. It's just another feel-good movie, really. It's just a movie about, pushing and going for it. I mean, this is a good motivational movie, really. I really, really like this movie. So yeah, this was my number, what am I at? 7? Number 7. Number 6, still a Michael J. Fox movie. I am not one to usually put documentaries in my top 10. This one, though, floored me. And David Holmes was another one that was almost in my top 10. It's crazy, the documentaries that I really enjoyed this year. Another one that's not being talked for awards, and it really should. This is another movie, again, like David Holmes, where if you're having a bad day, shut up. Watch this movie, and you're going to be having a better day. The positivity of Michael J. Fox is just insane. The story is absolutely insane. How they incorporated his movie scenes from his movies into this movie to tell the story is absolutely beautiful. It totally worked. I absolutely love that. And just Michael J. Fox as a person, I love him. I absolutely love this man. Towards the beginning when he falls, he's like, you knocked me off my feet. To the woman that's like, oh my God, are you okay? His humor is just my kind of humor. I absolutely love this man, and it's such a beautiful story, and I just could not believe how much I like this movie. It's a streaming movie, and I hate that it's a streaming movie, but I wish I could have seen this in a theater. It was so beautiful. I just love this movie so much. I cannot recommend this documentary enough if you haven't seen it. It's just so good. And again, another movie to watch on a day when you're just having a bad day. Number 5, I think we're at number 5. Number 5 is Poor Things. This is a movie that I in no way in a million years thought would be in my top 10. I do not like Yorgos Lanthimos. I have not liked a single one of his other movies. I don't like his writing. I don't like his script. His movies are pretentious. I don't like his direction. I have not liked a single thing about him until Poor Things. This movie is darkly funny. It is a beautiful story. Mark Ruffalo, this might be one of the greatest performances of all time, in my opinion. Emma Stone is so great and so courageous in this movie, as well as Mark Ruffalo. Just for the things that they're doing in this movie, it's absolutely insane. It's a very long movie, but it's such a good movie. Willem Dafoe is great in this movie. It's crazy. It's weird. It's science fiction. It's a love story. It's, go girl, go story. It's such a good movie. There's so much to this movie, and I was just absolutely blown away by it. I want to go see it again in theaters, honestly. I just haven't had a chance. So many movies coming out. Just haven't been getting the time to go see it. Still haven't even seen like Color Purple yet. I need to get on that too. Especially if it gets nominated for awards. I really gotta go see it. I just was not expecting to like this movie as much as I did, and I absolutely love this movie. It's not for everyone. If you don't like weird, strange movies with lots of nudity and weirdness, don't see this movie. It is also kind of shot pretentiously, but it works. It's such a good movie. I love this movie so much. Can't believe this movie. I am still shocked this movie's in my top 10, but here it is. Next up, number 4, Godzilla Minus One. A foreign film is in my top 10. I always hope that a foreign film is in my top 10. 100% ever since Parasite in 2019. I love this movie. When I first saw this movie, I didn't like it as much. I went and saw it a second time just because everyone was loving this movie. And for some reason, I was like 7 on 10. I have upped my score in this one. This is one I could change my review for. This is like a 8 or 9 out of 10 for me. I didn't think, when I first saw this movie, I didn't think the characters were all that great. I think I must have been tired the night I watched this. The night I watched this, it was a later screening. I think I was just tired. I think I was really tired that night. Because, wow, is this movie insane. Godzilla looks cool. I think his eyes maybe are a little bit too fake. But other than that, it looks great. This movie's not a bajillion dollars that it costs to make. The story is very good. The humans are very good. The ending was a little too cheesy for me. But other than that, I just think this movie is phenomenal. And it's a Godzilla movie. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, and it's so good. It's a weird double feature with Oppenheimer, which again, we'll talk about a little later on. It's a weird double feature. I wouldn't have expected to watch this and Oppenheimer at the same time. Honestly, watch Oppenheimer first, then this. But it is kind of a good double feature. Such a phenomenal movie. Such a phenomenal movie. Even if you don't like Godzilla, check this one out. It's such a cool movie, and I loved the characters. Mad Scientist guy was a little cartoony for me at times, but, I really liked him. this is such a great movie. If you have not checked out my Godzilla Minus One, check it out. It is a foreign film. Get over it. You will forget that you're reading a movie in no time. It's such a good movie. Absolutely check out Godzilla Minus One. It's by far one of the greatest movies of the year. Next up, number 3, we're on The Holdovers, a Christmas movie. Cody liked a Christmas movie. If you know me, I don't like Christmas. There's only like 5 movies that I like that are Christmas movies. This one can be added to the list because this was such a sweet movie. And such a great coming-of-age story, such a great, old guy story, I guess you could say. Paul Giamatti is probably going to get nominated. What's her name? I can't remember her name, but she's going to get nominated, I think. Possibly win. I don't know. We'll see. Just such a beautiful bonding movie. Trauma kind of movie. And it has such great humor in it, too. I was laughing quite a bit watching this movie. It's such a sweet movie. I love this movie to pieces. It's on Peacock now, and I need to rewatch it. I wish it had done a little better in theaters, but such a great movie. If you have not seen The Holdovers, definitely check out The Holdovers. It is a great family movie. It is R-rated. It's mostly for language, honestly. I don't think there's any, nudity. I forget if there's any nudity. If there is nudity, it's like, oh, look at this picture of a naked woman. And that's about it. It's such a sweet movie. It is a good movie to watch with your family. And it is going to be a Christmas movie that I think I'll maybe start watching every year. It is very good. Very sweet. Absolutely loved it. Paul Giamatti's the best. Absolutely love him in this movie. That brings me to number 2. Number 2 is American Fiction. A movie that I was not excited about. I had seen the trailers and thought it looked stupid. And looked very like a political movie that I didn't want to see. This movie's funny as hell. I saw it at a Regal Mystery movie screening. My only issues with this were the ending, really, and just kind of where the characters were left off. Other than that, it is such a good movie. The commentary in this movie is so good. The characters in this movie are so good. Jeffrey Wright, I hope he's going to get nominated. I don't know that he's going to be. This is another movie. It's only been it was back in theaters this week, I think, and is now down to 1 showing a day. Not enough people are going to go see this movie, and more people should be seeing this movie because it is one of the best pictures of the year. And honestly, this and Godzilla maybe could be flipped. Both Godzilla and this movie were movies that I also feel I was a little hard on when I first saw them. I haven't seen this one a second time. I maybe should try to go again. I want to go see this movie a second time in theaters, but I don't know that I'm gonna have a chance. It's just such a good movie. It's so funny. It's so relatable. And I love the politicalness of it, which I was not expecting. But it is such a funny movie. It has such a great message to it. Not a good ending, but other than that, it's an ending that is different and it goes there, and I like that it goes there at least. So, that is my number 2 movie of the year. And, well, you can guess what my number 1 movie of the year is. It is Oppenheimer. I love Christopher Nolan. I've loved him ever since Batman Begins. I remember seeing Batman Begins back in 2005 and just fell in love with Batman. That was really the first time that I really, loved Batman. And then The Dark Knight came out. Inception came out. It was a movie I did not think I was going to like, but I absolutely love Inception. I will fight anyone on that hill with that. Paul, if you're watching this movie, that movie's amazing. You do not know what you're talking about. Go home, watch it again, because it's a great movie. Oppenheimer. Inception is great. Dark Knight Rises I like more than a lot of other people. Dunkirk is a great movie. I'm literally just naming Christopher Nolan movies at this point now. Tenet was terrible. So that's why I was hesitant with this one. I think Tenet is not a good movie at all. It looks good, but it's not a good movie. But yeah, Oppenheimer. It's so insane to me that a 3-hour movie, half of the movie's in black and white, and it's really just a bunch of talking. made almost $1 billion. And it's possible this movie could make $1 billion with its awards. It still has not left the theaters. It's still in theaters. I can literally go to my theater right now and go see this movie again, and I would love to do so. Cillian Murphy kills it. I hope he wins the Oscar. Robert Downey Jr., he's going to get his Best Supporting. I kind of want Mark Ruffalo to take it, though. I'm not going to lie. But I think RDJ is going to get it. It's going to be more of like a career Oscar. Still well-deserved. He's so great in this movie. You know Christopher Nolan's great when you have, like, Rami Malek in this movie, an Oscar winner who has literally one line. There's so many, like, cameos in this movie, essentially, that aren't cameos. They were important people to the story of Robert J. Oppenheimer. And they're important roles, but they, like, literally, some of them don't even have lines. And it's just insane. And I absolutely loved it. Matt Damon's great in this movie. Just the story is absolutely incredible, and this movie is so thrilling. It's so beautifully done. If you have not seen this movie in IMAX, try to go see it in IMAX. It's still playing in my IMAX, and I really want to go see it again in IMAX. I've seen it... How many times? I've seen it twice in IMAX, once in a regular theater, and once in 30 millimeter. And I'm so happy I saw this movie in 30 millimeter. The black and white in 30 millimeter looks so incredible. This movie is just so wonderful. I think this is going to be the best picture of the year at the Oscars. And second year in a row that my favorite movie of the year is going to win Best Picture, if it does win Best Picture. Because last year's Everything Everywhere All at Once, 2022, I should say. Last year is 2022. Everything Everywhere All at Once was my favorite movie, and this movie is my favorite movie of the year. It's just so incredible. The acting in this is absolutely great. People think that Emily Blunt is a weak character. I disagree. I think this is Nolan's best written female character in any of his movies. She's sidelined at first, but that's when she really comes in and goes, just that ending sequence. Well, not the ending one, but one of the last scenes that she's in where she's telling people off. Where they're in the woods and she's slapping Oppenheimer across the face saying, "You don't get to feel guilty about this." Just incredible. I just think this movie is absolutely incredible. I was blown away by this movie. I just could not believe it. And thank God for Barbenheimer, because it helped the cinemas this year big time. And it was crazy, the phenomena that was this Barbenheimer. Seeing people dressed up for Barbie, seeing people dressed up for Oppenheimer. It's great to know that we still have movies like this. I hope there's a movie in 2024 that will do it. I hope people are dressing up like Deadpool or something. I don't know what one, but I hope it happens. Yeah, Oppenheimer is my absolute favorite movie of the year, and I'm so excited to see what Christopher Nolan does next. He is probably my favorite director at this point. You know, he's only had one miss, in my opinion. I don't like Memento as much as a lot of people do. I still think it's a good movie. Tenet, to me, is just not a good movie. But dang, he's so good. Yeah, I don't think I have too much more to say. I never actually reviewed this movie. I'm going to be watching it soon. If not in theaters, it's coming to Peacock soon. I know that's not the way I want to see it. I do not own this one yet. It's another one I do not own. I do not buy Blu-rays anymore unless they are on sale. So it needs to be like $15 or under because, well, I have a dog. I have my health. I'm trying to save up for a house. So there are certain things I need to cut back on. So I can't go buy brand new movies anymore. But I love this movie so much. If you haven't seen Oppenheimer, for the love of God, go see it. Again, if this is not the kind of movie for you that is a 3-hour half black and white movie, then don't go see it because you're not going to like it. But yeah, absolutely #1 movie of the year. I've seen it 4 times in theaters, 2 times in IMAX, which is not a cheap ticket. Once in 30 millimeter, which was it was the most expensive ticket. It's so worth it. I'm so glad I spent every penny that I have on this movie. I absolutely love this movie. I don't regret it for a second. So you guys, that is my top 10 of 2023. I'm sorry it took so long to get here. Here's to 2024. So far, it's not so great so far, but you know, we're only 3 weeks in. yeah, it's January. It's a poop fest here. Anyways, guys, I hope you have yourself a great night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and we will see you next time. Peace out. I'm going to wait till this hits exactly 30